Bonjour everyone, welcome to another diecast showcase. So today we're gonna be checking out the last few weeks worth of loose finds. A lot of thrift store / Goodwill finds. Pretty good variety of different diecast manufacturers as well. And yeah, basically just wanted to show you a big bag of goodies that I managed to actually gather. Big old bag. So yeah, without further ado, let's get her started, see what we found. So I did find one larger scale unit. This would be a 1/36th scale model from Kinsmart. As you can see, it's a first gen Lexus RX 300 to be precise. So yeah, basically your typical Kinsmart inclusions, inserted pieces for grill and front lights, painted windshield wipers, lensed rears. You can see the badging is all there with the RX 300 license plate, and this specific one was actually repainted. As you can see probably here, the lower body cladding was actually gray at a certain point, and we can see evidence of this on the base right below the Kinsmart logo. You can see that there's definitely some repainting going on there. Same on the top. So yeah, 1/36 scale Lexus RX 300, also known as the Toyota Harrier in certain markets. So that's the only bigger scale vehicle that I got on this specific, well, let's say, I guess, hauls, because it's more than one haul. But yeah, after that, we're going to go back to the 3-inch / 1/64 scale vehicles. Second vehicle we're going to check out, we have this little Yatming-esque square body. Pretty sure it's not Yatming because the wheels are definitely not Yatming. These six dot wheels. But it looks like a Yatming tooling that's been reused by some Chinese brand. Not a whole lot on the bottom, as you can see. Made in China with a production number, and that's pretty much it. But I do find the paint is pretty groovy. Those tampos with the fade from yellow to orange to red, it's pretty cool. And I remember having this one as a kid, so that brought back a little bit of nostalgia, so thought I'd keep that one for sure. Next we have colorway number 2 of a specific casting, the ST185 generation Celica, Toyota Celica. This is actually ST182. It's a non-turbo version. Can't really tell if it's left-hand drive or right-hand drive because this specific casting does not have a dashboard. You can actually see the Lexus red paint right through that wheel arch. So it does have seats. It does not have the little quarter windows here for the back. And really dark tint for the front and rear glass. And the Super Racing livery. It's actually colorway number 2, as I was mentioning. I did pick up a red version of this. This blue one is definitely more to my taste. I do like nice blue paint, and I mean the paint on this was before there were requirements for type of paint used, so definitely stood the test of time. My apologies. A couple little flea bites here and there on the corners, but overall pretty minty fresh. Just a little cheap die cast that has not been produced a whole lot until recently. Hobby Japan has made this casting, albeit the 4-wheel drive turbo version, the GT4, or the all-track as it was sold in North America. But yeah, so pretty cool stuff. next up we have another Yatming type casting, but it's not licensed under Yatming. We have the infamous Ford Econoline van, E-Series, with the ambulance livery. Always a little portal on that rear panel. And, you know, I must have at least 4 or 5 different liveries of this. First time I get this specific ambulance one. Again, not a whole lot to speak of on the base. As you can see, it's made in China. It's got a number underneath and pretty much the same type of cast as the Celica back there. So, you know, old Yatming that was used and reused, and just ended up as it is. All right, now getting to some more actual branded die-cast, although this one is not indicated as such. We do have this little Yatming Ferrari F1. I do have another version of this, only difference being it is a metal-based casting. This one is not, and is not identified as a Yatming, as you can see, again, made in China. But, yeah, definitely a Yatming. And this is the third version I get of this. First one I got was actually no Ajip sponsorship with a plastic base like this. Second one was Yatming branded metal base with the Ajip, and this is kind of like the intermediate, I guess, where it's not a Yatming anymore, but you know, it's still got the sponsorship on that front spoiler. So kind of cool. You know, it's going to be like kind of like a backup, since I already have the metal base one as a display piece in the collection. So that one's going to probably find its way into storage somewhere somehow. Other Yatming model that I managed to pick up, and this one is branded as a Yatming, as you can see, is this little Ford COE. Is it a Ford? Maybe it's a Mack. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, cool little tractor trailer there. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good nick. He's got all his parts, and yeah, Matchbox actually released this as a new casting, what, I think 2 years ago? Maybe 2 years ago? Not exactly sure, but yeah, definitely nice little truck. Bluish window tint, white interior. Got the little fuel tanks in chrome, and chrome base, of course. So, you know, I always like my little tractor trailers, so that's a cool little piece to add to the collection. Next, we'll go on to some Motormax, one of my favorite cars from the late 40s, early 50s, the infamous Mercury Coupe. So, yeah, obviously, well, Motormax wheels do not really fit with the era of the car, but overall, despite its condition, it's pretty chipped up. We've got all the nice details. We're talking about front details, hood ornament. Well, obviously, well, the side trim is chroming itself out with the paint disappearing, and you do have the lights done in the rear, although this one is mostly missing. And nice little base, plastic base. There you go. It's not written Motormax, but it's definitely Motormax. So 49 Merc Coupe. Oh yeah, it is branded Motormax. It's right there. There you go. So yeah, very dirty as usual with these loose finds. As I say in every single video, this is as found, not cleaned up. Just if I cleaned them up, I'll tell you, basically. Next Motormax casting that I managed to secure is this little Plymouth Prowler. Some groovy Christmas style graphics on there. It's kind of funny because up here in Montreal, we are having our first little flurry. Don't think it's going to stay on the ground, but there are snowflakes and there is a little bit of snow accumulation on non should I say non asphalt surfaces or concrete surfaces. So so nice gold paint. Definitely see some air going through that wobbly steering wheel that definitely is loose, but it's holding in there for dear life. Yeah, would not hurt to remove those Christmassy tampos, honestly. And the wheels in this case do match much better the Era, although they're not perfect. Same exact model of wheels that you saw on the Merc. And here's your base. There we go. Probably better if it was right side up. But there you go. Scale. What is that scale? One. Seems I have a hard time reading the scale, to be honest, guys. You let me know what you can make out of it, but maybe 1/65th, something like that. It does look big though. It does look a little bit big, so maybe it's more like 1/55th. Who knows? Either way, much better casting than the equivalent Matchbox of the Era example. So yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. It's pretty cool casting. I do have also here another, this one would be a Maisto. It would be a first gen Mercedes GLK in gold, kind of like metallic gold. Again, no interior, blacked out windows, but the rims surprisingly kind of match the car, those 7 spokes. And despite it not being in great condition, you can still see that Maisto went through the effort to include the details that we actually want, as opposed to putting a silly livery on there. And here's your base, GLK class, Maisto, no scale, made in China. Plastic base, metal body, no interior. There we go. Next we have another no-name casting, but it's kind of like a knockoff of a fairly popular Matchbox casting in the 80s. We are talking about the Fiat 131 Abarth in orange. 5 spokes look pretty decent. As you can see, this has a lot of wear. It's a very cheap imitation of the Matchbox. Doesn't really have any suspension. No dash, kind of a dashboard, but you have a steering wheel. Let's just say you have a steering wheel in here, but that's pretty much it. No tampo work whatsoever. And as you can see, the base is also the interior. Very cheaply done. Easy to break suspension. But I do like this car. I do have the Modern Classics version of it, the Hot Wheels Premium one. But this is a cool little tidbit to add to the collection, basically. If we're talking about classic Italian rally cars from the 70s. Nice box flares, abundance of lights in front, deep chin spoiler, nice little duckbill wing, and casting overall is not bad. Exhaust is pretty bad, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, cool little tidbit to add to the collection right there. All right, next up, what do we have next? We have a again, unbranded, but this one's better quality, that's for sure. We have this cool little Fiero with the turbo graphics on the front, which definitely means that's probably from the 80s, because 80s and turbos, they just go together. But overall, it kind of looks like, it reminds me of an older Yachtming in its construction. It does have a plastic base, as you can see. It does have almost Tomica looking wheels. Obviously, you do have a little bit of suspension from that, again, same system with the tab, opening doors, They actually have air going through the spokes of that steering wheel, which is appreciable. Although the dash is very, very, very basic, as are the seats, which more or less look like Inca pyramids if you put stairs on where you would sit as a driver or passenger. But overall, the casting's okay. I mean, definitely worth definitely worth to add to the display pieces, that's for sure. So happy to get that. A little bit of a unusual piece, I find. Now we're going to be getting to some more reputable brands. We're going to start off with the, continue on, I guess, with the cheaper, dumbed down version of Majorette, which would be Novacars. So basically, Novacars, most of the time reused Majorette castings, but made them plastic bodied with a metal base. And we can definitely see a metal base. Interesting fact about this specific casting, this is a Peugeot 605. And this actually is I should say molding instead of casting, but a molding that was not actually produced in the Majorette mainline. Hence, it being unique to Novacars, which is interesting. I learned that from a French YouTuber, Diecast Collector. Yeah, I found it was, when I saw this in a grab bag, I was like, hey, I gotta get this, because when's the last time you saw Peugeot 605? I mean, last time I did was in the movie Taxi 2. So, the French version, of course, not the Americanized Queen Latifah version. So, yeah, plastic-bodied Peugeot 605. I did mention the trucks before. Do like my trucks, so when I saw this in a grab bag, I thought, this would be a good addition to the Junker collection. A good old Volvo COE flat nose from Majorette, 1/100th scale. Yeah, plastic base metal body. All of that paint wear that you can want, and the distinctive Volvo grille with that diagonal bar supporting that logo, and the Volvo right there. So pretty cool. You know, just another tractor trailer to add to the collection. Also, if we're talking about utility vehicles, this is probably something that's going to seem weird, but I'm really, really happy to pick this up because I had one of the two parts to make this set complete. We are talking about little Shell trailer with the swiveling front axle. I do have the cab part of this, and was just biding my time till I could find the trailer. I think this trailer is actually in better condition than the cab that I have, but nevertheless, you can see it's unbranded on the bottom because it is normally part of a set with the Ford COE truck, and I have the truck, now I have the trailer. Extremely happy about that, so we'll put that there. Actually, we'll put that out of the way, leave more room for the stuff that we want to see on screen here. All right, did manage to pick up, we'll just make a break from the Majorette for just 1 second. Did manage to pick up an older Welly, which these are pieces I do like. It's the Audi Quattro, the Euro Quattro, in white with the Audi Sport colors of the period. It would have been written something on the roof. It's written Sport. Well, it used to be written Sport, and we got Super down here. But overall, I mean, you got the knockoff Tomica Sport wheels. Got the inserted black plastic part of the base for that rear fascia. The Audi 4-ring logo in that front grille. Overall, it's pretty nice casting, and it does look to be close to 164. So it's not identified as Welly on the base, but I mean, this was a tumultuous time for Welly. Pretty much same thing as what Yachtming was going through, but to a lesser extent for Welly. Now we'll get back to the majorettes. All right. Did manage to pick up another Ford Econoline van, but this time from Majorette. And here we are. Magic Circus or Circus Magic, I don't know. But it has this kind of cool colored side deco. It doesn't really show well on camera, probably because it does have a lot of metallic in there, which is kind of cool. Red grille provided by the interior, same for the side skirts here, and the wheel well arches, and we've got the opening doors in the back. There we go. Nothing in the back. There was something in the back when I actually got this, though. And we got the trailer hitch here. We do have no suspension, but we do have a metal base right there. So Fourgon, made in France, 1/65th scale. So close enough to 1/64th. And inside that, there was actually something inside the van, and it was jammed in there, and I had the hardest time with tweezers taking it out. But check out what somebody lodged in that little van. A C1 Corvette Micro Machines. I had quite a pretty good collection of Micro Machines when I was a kid in the late 80s, early 90s, and it's my first time. I never got back into Micro Machines, although, I almost did pick up the Micro Machines Redux Bugatti pack. Did not end up doing so, but this is a pretty cool little piece. I mean, came with it, so it's kind of like a freebie with the van, I guess. Nice little piece. It's kind of like a tiny version of a tuned car from Hot Wheels. So we'll just put it on top of the roof here. Oh, maybe it won't stay on the roof. Or maybe I could put it like this. There we go. Yeah, so that came like as a bonus in the van. Something that's more within my chords. Definitely far from being mint, but we have a facelifted 4Runner, Toyota 4Runner. It's got the tow hitch. It's missing like the little black add-ons, kind of like you saw on the hitch on the van. Those are long gone, but that's okay. It looks more realistic that way. A lot of paint missing, and it's definitely got a lot of JDM touches if we're talking about the non-North American version. It's got the more aero mirrors. The bumpers are definitely not the same spec as we got in North America. This one does have the great Majorette suspension. Here's your base. It's just written Toyota Runner, so they forgot the 4, but that's fine. It's a 1/58th scale, and this one does not have any opening features. It does have the 5-line wheels that are very prevalent on majorettes of this time, especially more utility vehicles such as vans and SUVs, as you just saw. So, speaking of utility vehicles, also picked up this Ford Transit kind of like pickup /van pickup, I guess. Bright orange, metal base. There you go. Made in France. 1/60th scale. Also have the suspension. It's got the 6 spokes, this one. Yellow glass, which gives the yellow headlights, which is typical of French cars in the 80s and very early 90s. Yeah, overall, pretty good nick. Not perfect, as you can see here. Some of this plastic has taken a beating, but... and I don't know if there was something in this box. Doesn't really look like it. Could have been out of a set with a trailer. I have no clue. You got this MotoGP type scene. Very, very ladies or early 90s type of print on there. But yeah, lens lights and metal base, metal body. Wide inserts from the interior for the bumpers. I find it's a pretty good looking piece, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. We have here next, I actually got a nice little cop car. Nice little cop car from Maisto. We have here a Chevy Caprice, the bubble Chevy, early ones with the hideaway rear wheels. It's got the old Matchbox style 5-arch wheels, no front and rear tampos, but we do get some side deco, as well as the strobes on the roof. And this is before Maisto went uber cheap, and this actually has clear windows with an interior. Not a great interior, but an interior nonetheless. Most of the chrome's gone from the rear wheels, as you can see, probably rubbage over time. Front wheels are pretty darn good. So there you go. Here's your base. Chevy Caprice. Chevrolet Chevy Caprice. Sure, why not? This is a skinny boy too. These were long cars, IRL, so obviously it's possible they may have scaled it slightly down a little bit. All right, next up we have a Matchbox GMC Wrecker. It is missing a little piece of the front bumper, and the tow hook is very mangled, although it's still there. Pretty cool casting. 24-hour Frank's 24-hour towing with the Getty on the side. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so the the off-road or construction version of the 8-dot wheels on there. Classic. You have the GMC logo in that grille. So it is a square body. And there you go. GMC Wrecker, 1987 copyright. Made in Thailand. 1/72nd scale. So slightly smaller than one would expect. It looks about the same size as that blue square body we started the showcase off after the larger one, after the larger RX there. But yeah, this one definitely is probably a Super Duty or something like that. So there you go. Let's see. Oh, another majorette. One Mercedes-Benz 190E in gray with the red interior, which is definitely a variation I wanted. I do have since childhood the white version with the black interior and the racing livery. I definitely wanted eventually to add this clean gray, kind of like civilian version, I guess, into the collection. So got some air passing through the spokes of that steering wheel. Got a red interior as mentioned. Opening doors. Mercedes-Benz logo is still on that grille, which is hard to find. Lens lights in the front. Rear lights are inserts from the interior. This is a 190E 2.316 valve with the Cosworth engine. And there you go. Not made in France. 1/59th scale. Metal body, metal base, and of course that magnificent majorette suspension. Still working after probably around 25 to 30 years, so maybe more, which is great. All right, next up, what would we look at next? How about we look at this one here? Picked up this little Matchbox AM General Hummer. This is slant back, military spec, orange. I like this one better than the Hot Wheels version just due to the fact that it's plastic base and metal bodied, as opposed to Hot Wheels now doing the metal base plastic body version. This one does not have windows, no interior, obviously. It's got the 6-spoke construction wheels in white, which is a nice contrast to the orange and black livery. Very Halloween-esque. I do have an older version that this actually opened in the back, this little hatch. This is a revised version of the casting. From what I can see here, 1994 and 2014. So this is post 2014 and newer, obviously. And the one I have is before 2014. Humvee. There you go. Pretty pretty okay, pretty cool. All right, couple more Matchbox that I found. We have this tan version of the Nissan Xterra first gen. Pretty sweet. It doesn't have the full tampo work that the regular version gets, or the moving parts version that I have, at least, from about 6-7 years ago. This one's the non-moving parts. It's the mainline version, so you have the rack on the roof with all the accessories, kind of like a busy MBX Marine part livery. Half the rear light's done. And yeah, front fascia is part of the base, the gray base, as you can see. Blue chrome wheels, 6 spokes again, same as the Humvee. Here's your base. It's pretty nice casting. I like it. I like it. Yeah. And that'll be basically the second version of this casting I have, but it's not the same as the one that I already have, as it does not have moving parts. Next one is a little bit more of an oddity, at least to most North Americans, probably not to people down south in South America. This is the Volkswagen Savero. Savero? Yeah, Savero. Brazilian only market vehicle. Front wheel drive, little pickup. I believe it's based on the Polo, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. So white 6 spokes again, but this one is the regular road going 6 spokes with the untextured tires, non-treaded. Again, MBX Tours, kind of a busy livery on this side. Pretty good match to the Xterra, honestly. This one though, the paint, instead of being gloss, it's semi-metallic, and it's just like a Volkswagen casting that I didn't have. A vehicle that's not sold locally where I'm located in Canada. So there you go. It's kind of something different, and I'm all for that. So there we go. All right, next up, I'm going to be looking at a older Matchbox, much older Matchbox of the Superfast era. Definitely not in the best condition, but then again, it's a 60-year-old toy, so, well, actually, no, 55-year-old toy. It's the little Volkswagen T2 camper van, Superfast. Here's your base, made in England, 1970, Lesney products. Yeah, and you have the Superfast up here. This would be the Doormobile. The Doormobile, that's what they call it here. And yeah, you can see the Superfast on the bottom there. So it does have the opening top like the Vestfalias would have, but gives you a peek in the interior. This is actually a right-hand drive, so definitely very Lesney. And you have the interior accommodations right there that you can see pretty well. There used to be stickers. That's what's left of them. Yeah, so basically only one sliding door, as most minivans had prior to 96 example. I think the Chevy Venture and Pontiac Transport were the first ones, followed by the Chrysler minivans, to have the dual sliding doors on minivans, at least where I come from. Here's your rear, early T2, with those lights being very close to the center. Nice little license plate molded into the bodywork. And here's that unmistakable Volkswagen front end. As you can see, definitely there's corrosion going on. And this is not something that can be cleaned off. I mean, this is really the Zamac starting to eat itself alive, basically. So, but either way, classic Matchbox. I definitely love that. So I'm happy to add that to the collection. Other worthy Matchbox additions to the collection would be The nice Lamborghini Countach from the... This is just after the Tyco era, if I'm not mistaken, where they got rid of the really ugly wheels and gaudy paint jobs and tried to get back to their roots. You know, like shameless plug for licensing, obviously, with the Lamborghini and script on the side, but overall, nice dark green paintwork. Wheels are not great, but they're way better than they were a couple of years prior to this being released. Back end is pretty good. You have the wing, not too crooked, and the front, pretty okay. The white interior. Here's your base. 85 release date, but this is probably 10 years newer than that. And yeah, pretty basic stuff. This one doesn't have a scale. It's the LP 500S. Definitely cool. And to go along with that, and as the Countach was a poster car for me, this is another poster car for me when I was a kid. The infamous Ferrari F40. It does have the little lensed front lights, this one, which is pretty cool. Same wheels as the Countach. You do have the Pininfarina script on the door, which is a bit much. Ferrari shields on the front wings, which is good. Ferrari logo is big, and I'm not sure we actually need the Ferrari script above the Ferrari logo, but then again, Ferrari is a weird licensor, so, you know, no offense to Ferrari. Yeah, so we've got the rear. It's pretty basic. I feel this casting is much better proportion to the equivalent Hot Wheels run from the same era. And here's your base. Made in China. 1/59th scale on this one, Ferrari F40. 1988 copyright. So a year after this car was actually released in 87. All right. What do we have next? We did manage to pick up a 996 Turbo from Matchbox. Great details on the back. Not so great, you know, condition of the paint. Black 5 spokes, which everyone knows. No front tampos, unfortunately, which kind of a bummer. I do have this in red, in mint condition, that I've had from new, fresh off the pegs, and does have front and rear tampos. I'm not sure why this one doesn't. Here's your base. Was that 1/58th? Yeah. 1/58th scale. As you can see there. Or 1/53rd maybe? I don't know. Either way, Porsche 911 Turbo. It's a 996 Gen 2001, which is coincidentally the year the 996 generation came out, when they went from air-cooled to water-cooled. And it does have a nice brown beige interior. So overall, you know, pretty nice piece. You know, a couple supercars, sports cars. All right, next up, I did pick up another Matchbox that I didn't have this colorway of. I'm not sure if this is part of a pack, a multi-pack, or if it's actually part of the main line as a single, but I did pick up this MX-5, the ND Mazda. This had the cool race graphics. I do prefer the cleaner, you know, non-race liveried versions, personally, but this one's pretty cool. I might add the details that it needs, just like I did on the Hot Wheels one. Also in dark metallic blue. This one's in a nice gloss Smurf blue. A little bit of orange on there. Kind of gives vague Golf livery vibes. It is a right-hand drive, so JDM, or could be UK market, could be Hong Kong, could be a whole bunch of other places, but either way, let's say JDM. White 5 spokes, same wheels as the Porsche, but in white instead of black. There you go. So here's your base. No scale on that one, but it is probably around I'm going to think 156, something like that, because it is a big for a Miata. All right, next we have a movie car. I believe this is a McDonald's car from Hot Wheels. It would be the Mach 5 from Speed Racer. The M on the front portion obviously is starting to disappear. Same for the 5s on the door. You've got the 5-dot wheels in chrome. This is a plastic body, red interior, a little canopy on there, and a metal base. You can see the Hot Wheels logo right there, vaguely. Mach 5. Yeah, not sure what this is from, actually, if we're talking about series, but nevertheless, that'll go well with the Johnny Lightning version that I have of the original. This one looks more like the Redux version from the most recent movie. Did pick up, I think this is probably a 6th colorway of the Ford Maverick Grabber from Hot Wheels. Gold with the white striping. It's a nice little piece. I like these, and they're very easy to detail. It's pretty good condition. There you go. Won't spend too much time on that one. Not the most interesting piece that I managed to pick up. Picked up this very beat up but very cool Pontiac Firebird 4th gen drag car with the groovy paint job. A lot of chipping all over. But this one, the reason why I find it so cool, besides the fact that it's a cool car and I love Firebirds, is the fact that it's got a metal base. There we go. 93. Copyright. Pro stock Firebird. There you go. Yeah, very heavy piece. These must be really good in mint condition, or in fresh crack condition, basically. These must be super fast on the track. Yeah, nice car. Happy to add drag spec Firebird to the collection. Another older piece that's in really good condition I'm happy to add would be this Jeep Scrambler. It's got the typical black with the red livery, red interior. It's got a bunch of stuff, an axe and some firewood in the back. Fat black walls, of course, metal base. And this is India, so this is probably under Leo. And I actually found 2 of these. This one was the best condition one. The other one was pretty much exactly the same, but in slightly less good condition and with a warped front axle. So I gave that one to my kid. She likes the OG Hot Wheels because they feel heavy. As they should, metal on metal like that. So happy to add that to the old school Hot Wheels collection. Did pick up another Firebird. This is a 2nd gen Firebird. This is the good old Trans Am. Looks like a SD455 almost. Super Duty. Not really indicated underneath. Trademark GM 2011, made in Malaysia. Not a whole lot of info on there, but it's got the fire chicken. It's green. I love my green cars. It's beat up, but still a good looking piece. This was actually just released in one of the early 2026 cases in white, so it's pretty cool. Older Hot Wheels, another that I picked up, and this would be probably variation number 3 or 4. Ferrari Testarossa. This is on the black walls, the staggered black walls, staggered diameter black walls, should I say. It's got that funky 2-tone interior with the red interior and white inserts, which gives for a red rear light bar and white rear bumper. Metal base. '84 copyright. And these are more common on the Ultra Hots, basically. So I think this is the only version that I have that's on 5 spokes, so that's pretty cool. The mint yellow one, beat up red one, both on Ultra Hots. Now I have one that's fairly beat up, but not on Ultra Hots. All right, a really clean Hot Wheels that I managed to pick up. And just to offset the Firebirds is the 4th gen Camaro convertible. It does have some chipping on the front bumper, as you can see, but as for the rest, the glass is super clear, interior is clean, and a little bit chips on the edges, but overall very good. Nice chrome 5 spokes. Here's your base, your plastic base, '96 copyright. It's the second variation I get of this. You would have probably seen the first variation I get of this in the last loose haul video that I made. So picked up like kind of like white with orange striping. Kind of reminds me of the Pace Car edition. Another one that I picked up here is this '57 Chevy with the oh-so 80s/90s graphics on the side. Metal engine piece. Pretty overall great condition. Obviously, this proportion-wise is not the best '57 Chevy, but you know, it's very hot roddy, so I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, Tampo kind of went over the rear lights here a little bit. Not as much on the other side, but you know, cool cast. Very nostalgic of my childhood. Did have both the Matchbox and the Hot Wheels version of this car. You can see the copyright date goes back quite a while. They did end up making this closed and not having that big engine popping out. So, you know, I have both versions. And this is cool to add to the horde. We have lowrider style Chevy Impala. Very rusty axles, dumped on those gold mesh wheels. Well, it's chipped throughout. Unmistakable rear lights. That sextet of rear lights, round lights. Here's your base. Oh, jeez. Flipped that over too many times, I guess. '65 Impala. Nice little coupe. I love these slammed Hot Wheels cars. Hot Wheels knows how to give Slammington to a car. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. At least I personally believe that they look great. Speaking of, a nice little rake on this '55 Chevy. '55 Chevy with the purple flames, yellow paint. Side trim's done. No front and rear tampos, but you know, that's fine. Super easy to add once again. I have a variety of different colorways of this car. There you go. Here's your base. Yeah, this is often used in multi-packs and things like that. So I've got quite the collection of those. So moving on from Chevy, we'll go to Ford. This is the first version of this casting that I managed to procure myself to add to the collection. This would be the SN95, sorry. SN95 Ford Mustang, the wide body Celine race Mustang. Yeah, so pre-New Edge, post-Fox. These could be FTEs, but I'm not really 100% sure. Here's your base. Mustang Cobra, 1997. Copyright, Thailand. Metal body, plastic base. So this was for the IMSA series, or the Grand Am series, or whatever they were called. All right. Next we have, well, I'm staying in the Fords, I guess. Got this very 90s Shelby Cobra 427 in this fluorescent yellow with the crisscross pattern going all over it. And the 7-spoke chrome wheels. Does have an opening hood to reveal that 427 cubic inch V8. And yeah, it's not perfect, but that's actually a Tampo error, so that's pretty cool. All right, yeah, we got chips here and there, and it's got a metal base too. Plus, it has its windshield, which is a big plus. There you go. Look at that. Yep, metal base. Not the most solid one. I feel it's a little bit loose on the base, but it's got its hoop, it's got its windscreen, so I'm not gonna complain. After all, it was a thrift store find, and on average, these cars came up to less than $1 each, so definitely not gonna complain. Definitely not. Got the late second gen Camaro in a very patriotic American livery with the big tri-spokes, first gen Viper, style wheels, blacked out windows. This one potentially no interior, but does have a metal base also. 1982 copyright. I do have this one in red on Hot Ones, gold Hot Ones, which I prefer. This is probably a later release of that same very same casting. So, but overall, it's a nice cast. I mean, and it feels weighty, and it's got that 80s vibe going on, which I really enjoy. All right, next, what do we have here? I've got a Porsche 959. That's pretty cool. Flame job, twin turbo on that rear wing. Got the small 5 spokes, metal base once more. 87 copyright, Thailand. This is probably a 90s release though. It's got a slight ding in this pillar here, but overall pretty good condition. You even got the vents here for the that rear twin turbo 2.9 liter flat 6, which is pretty cool. Many variations of this casting. All right, well, obviously I got to go a little bit JDM, so got this FD. Didn't have this color variation. Already got a spot for it in my collection, so it's going to be added to said collection permanently. Love a yellow FD. Gives initial D vibes. And this is a good casting. It's a great casting. Fun to customize as well. Very easy to customize. 2017 release date. I remember picking up pretty much all of these. The only colorway I don't have of this casting, actually, there's one that I don't like that's kind of like a Hot Wheels race livery. And there's the fluorescent green, almost this color here for the Cobra. Fluorescent green version of this one that I don't have. That's pretty much the only ones that I don't have. I think also the orange one out of the Then and Now I actually traded as part of a bundle to another collector, a local collector to me. But either way, that's neither here or there. I still have half a dozen variation of them, so it doesn't really matter. Picked up this Focus RS. Tampos are definitely leaving the chat, but I like this clean. I believe this is the first release of it. Clean, just factory baby blue version. Chrome has pretty much left the chat on the wheels as well. Yeah, there you go. Ford Focus RS 2016 copyright. It's a pretty good casting. I like it. All-wheel drive, little rally beast. So, all right, going back to some JDM-ness. You have this really nice Lexus SC 400 in green with the light gray interior, very 90s colorway. It's written Lexus Special Edition on the side. I don't know what's special besides the fact that they decided to throw on Viper wheels on here, but I mean, out of the 3 versions of this that I have, this is definitely the best condition one. It does have a plastic base, 1992 copy, right, which is the same year where this model actually came out, so that's pretty cool. Glad to add that. Now I'm going to have gold, white, and green. We have this little Chevy Suburban. Let's see. Sorry, Yukon. This is a Yukon. It's not a Suburban because the Suburban is the stretch version. So this one is the older tooling, which has a metal body plastic base as opposed to the plastic body metal base that's currently being produced in mainline sporadically. Hot Wheels City Mayor Security or whatnot. And there's kind of like the treasure hunt logo. I don't think this is a T-Hunt because 07 for the model. I don't have a copyright, but I don't think that this was being used as of then for the T-Hunt logo. So that's something that's good to keep in mind because Hot Wheels used to use this logo for just, generic, as a generic logo basically to brand their products. We do have the custom, I think it's 53 Cadillac. Seen better days chrome wise, but still got most of its paint. Got a little 1920s 30s F1 car on the back. Cut roof, chopped roof should I say. Front details, as you can see, most of the chrome is pretty much gone. The lace wheels, Cadillac on the side, and the side details, and same for the corner of those bumpers that are very, very non-chromed now. And here's your base, plastic base. There you go, custom 53 Cadillac. It's made into a pickup truck. Pretty cool. Very American thing to do, I guess. Yeah, pretty cool. All right. Oh yeah, forgot I had a second one of these. So yeah, we have another Porsche 959, but different livery. Also with a very busted up A-pillar there, but it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, 959, this time on the Ultra Hots, Porsche 959. It's got a metallic red instead of a gloss red, but it's pretty much the same casting, same base as you can see. So yeah, just different variation of the same casting, basically. Earlier release than the first one I showed you. Did pick up this Jaguar HSBC sponsored F1 car. This is from the late 90s. As you can see, the wheels are very cool, with the tire sidewall being the stagger of the wheel, which I personally like this better. Of course, I never really liked these castings, and I have the same gripe against the current modern castings. That wing being so high, although I understand it's for the track, it kind of screws up the design a little bit. There's no driver inside. But yeah, here you go. Nice little, and this is for the McDonald's Corp. So, year 2000. Yeah, I remember going to the race in Montreal where these cars actually ran. So, it's pretty cool. I'm happy to pick up that. Pick up a couple of Aston Martins too. I picked up first and foremost this beat up DBS in silver. Tampo work and paint is not the best. Got the chrome 10 spokes, but it would have been like a factory fresh style release with the front and rear tampos only. Red guts and right hand drive to keep it British. 2010 copyright, made in Malaysia, so mainline release. It's pretty cool. Put that next to the Jag F1 here. Is yeah, keep the Brits all together. The other one that I picked up would be the DB10. Better condition, definitely. Definitely a James Bond car. Well, I mean, this one not specifically, but I mean, it's in the spec that, when it wasn't James Bond. And yeah, not my favorite Aston design, but it's pretty nice. I find it's kind of a shame we don't have rear lights there, since they put a license plate on there. That would have been cool. There you go. TM Dan Jack. I have no idea what that is. Please, somebody tell me in the comments. That'd be great. All right. McDonald's car again. Mark 1 Lotus Elise. This is actually one that I do have already, but this one's in much better condition than the one that I have. The one that I have, I did add front and rear details. So this will just remain as a just kind of like stock one. Little bit of flea bites on that rear wing or rear spoiler, however you want to describe it. But overall, not bad. You know, front also has a couple dings, but kind of like normal Lotus stuff, I guess. Again, right-hand drive, lime green. Really like this. This is probably my favorite McDonald's car ever released. So didn't mind getting a second one that's in better nick. So let's see. Last couple cars that I have remaining here. Oh, actually, to go with the RX-7, the FD we checked out earlier, I did have this in one of the grab bags, the 24/7, which is kind of like a pre-license of the FD, where Hot Wheels decided to make a fantasy cast. Obviously, inspired by the RX-7, kind of like they did with the Super Tsunami, that's obviously a Mark IV Supra. So I didn't have one of these in the collection. Was curious to see what it was all about. And this is a plastic-bodied, metal-based car, so probably pretty fast on the track. Here's your 24/7 on the bottom. 2002 copyright, so 15 years later they came out with the actual legit FD. That one, you know, it's a cool colorway with the red windows and all that stuff. Last two cars here, we have first and foremost the McLaren F1 GTR. Do have a couple variations of this casting. This is the first one I get loose. So black with the red and the white. It's, you know, worn, but complete and in okay condition, I guess. 10-spoke staggered wheels in black. Yeah, it's plastic base. Got confused there for a second. Yeah, 2017 copyright on this one. F1 GTR. There you go. Made in Malaysia. Last and not least, last piece of diecast we're going to be looking at today. Probably one of my favorite finds out of this whole huge horde that took an hour to show you. The Vector. I believe this is a Vector M12, the follow-up to the W8. When they went from a GM twin-turbo V8 to the Lamborghini Diablo V12. It's got staggered hot ones. It's got that lilac metallic paint. Like a smudge or something in the window, but I'm not sure. I can't, I'm going to have to try some Goo Gone or something like that to get that off. A little black piece would need to be retouched here. That is meant to represent the window that continues into the door panel. And yeah, pretty cool casting. This is a one and done. They just made this color variation, and we never saw it again. And yeah, that pretty much concludes the finds for last couple weeks for loose diecast. So hope you enjoyed checking these out with me. If you did, obviously, well, leave a like, comment your feedback, tell me which one or ones were your favorite out of this whole lot. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Happy hunting. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye.